we always start. Me and Cole start. What's the high? What's your highs and lows? What's your high and low for the week, Cole?
I think the high was just how busy we were. It was pretty sweet. And then I yet again don't have any lows this week, Terry.
Oh, that's good. You don't have any lows. Okay, my high is I finished. I had a big assignment in for school, and I finished all my schoolwork. And my low is, I still got the little situation. It's happening with my daughter, but we're gonna work it out and figure it out. So we're gonna get started as we always get started.
Okay.
Let them introduce themselves. So. Introduce yourself, guys.
You go first, back.
Okay. Shantae Tucker. Shantae Tucker. No.
My name is Bray Jason Tucker.
Okay. All right. I'm glad to have you guys here. So we're going to start with, tell us about, you got your own personal self. You can intro about your little life, and then and then we'll get into the marriage and all that different type of stuff. Just give us a little background on you and
right. Well, okay. Shantae Tucker. Recently married.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Don't worry. Just be yourself. Just relax. We in the backyard. We in the backyard. The crib. The only thing's missing is the fire not burning.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. Let me just tell you about.
Where you born and raised?
Let me just tell you about me. Okay. Born and raised in Compton, California.
All right.
Been a foster parent for over 20 years now. I'm telling my age. Been doing daycare, grew up in Compton, been around Compton all my life, never left the nest. Have 2 beautiful children that I adopted.
Okay. What's their age?
14 and 15 now.
Okay.
I have an 8th grader and a 9th grader. She's soon to be 9th grade.
Okay.
Good Lord.
Nice challenge for me.
I bet.
I am an only child. I'm an only child.
Okay.
My dad's from Compton, LA. My mom is from Compton. Grandparents, Louisiana. But
So what made you want to adopt?
my grandmother.
Okay.
My grandmother couldn't have children.
Okay.
So she ended up having twins, which is my mom and my auntie. The only 2 children she had, but then she ended up adopting 7 other kids. And they grew up in Compton. Grandmother was an entrepreneur. Grandfather was an entrepreneur. They had a store in Compton. And they always helped the community. The community was first. It was always taking care of people and feeding them and, making sure people had a place to stay, that type of thing. Back in the days, it was called you just take somebody's kid and you get their little change that come. But then, as the years went on, adoption and paperwork got involved, DCFS came about.
Yeah.
And so my grandmother always had somebody living with her, always somebody she's taking care of. And so I believe that's where it came from.
Okay.
That's where it came from. I started babysitting, and then after babysitting, I was like, okay, 17, I got to get a job. What field you gonna go in? I love kids, so let's try that. Did that for a little while, did some other little jobs, did some security, and I found myself, I actually found myself, and I was like, wow, I think I want to do this thing. I think I want to do kids. I love kids. And so I got my first foster children in 2003.
Okay.
And actually, the kids that I had in 2003, I now have their children, which they call me grandma.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I've been doing that for a while. I've been a lover caretaker my whole life.
Okay.
So
We're gonna get back to that. We're gonna let Bray tell us a little bit about himself.
My name is Bray Jason Tucker. I'm born and raised in Long Beach, California. I'm currently doing construction right now for the local 433 ironwork. I've been in and out of prison, made some bad choices, gangs, drugs, struggle with stuff, addiction. I think all men do. Basically like mental health. I don't think as men we get to recognize our childhood trauma.
Yeah.
And those who do recognize it, I don't think we want to face the truth of it.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been struggling with until I met my wife. I recently been baptized
Okay.
by my wife.
Okay.
So, I have a whole new outlook on life now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm 43 years old, and this is probably the first time I've been happy in my whole life.
You know, I want you to elaborate a little bit more, because sometimes, and I'm glad you brought it up, because I'm born and raised in Long Beach. Obviously, different sides of the spectrum.
Right.
But your life, being in the gang life, I mean, that's part of who you were.
Right.
And a lot of people don't understand is that necessarily doesn't ever leave, because that's but you're just not involved in those. Obviously, you're not going to be involved in the same activities no more as you get.
Right.
How do you think your with your childhood experience made that something that you decided to be involved in? If anybody doesn't know, just for the people outside, me and him was in prison together.
Right.
So we've known each other, and he has a loyalty that is unmatched, I would like to say, especially for men who are really only loyal for certain things. And so when you see that type of, I always tell people, until I always thought somebody being in the gang, it was just dumb. Oh, that's just, the gang was just dumb. But then being in prison, and then of course not being affiliated, so they put anybody in your cell, and talking to different people about their experiences and what made them go towards that, it opened my eyes to not being ignorant, to just thinking that, oh, that's just stupidity. Because some people, that's all that was around, that was their family. There was no uncles or brothers or anything, or if they did have uncles or brothers, they were a part of that, so that's what they became part of. So explain how, some of your childhood experiences and what that has been like to try to navigate, just because I know you know what I mean?
Okay.
So,
Okay, first and foremost, I'm just going to give y'all a little bit of history on myself and a few of my friends. Gang banging in the 90s, where I grew up, it wasn't like a force to join. It wasn't pressure to become a gang member.
Okay.
My neighborhood where I grew up in Long Beach, it was protected by the gang members.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Those were the guys that were always in our neighborhood, and Miss Mayberry down the street, and it was all, you couldn't go nowhere in my neighborhood without somebody knowing you or knowing the people in that house. So when you have a group of kids that grow up in a certain area or they play on a certain football team, they automatically are labeled.
Okay.
Right? This is how society in the 90s works.
Okay.
Right? So you automatically label. I don't care where you at. You can be from South Central and you can live on Vernon, or you can live by the Pueblos and you cannot be a gang member. You automatically gonna be labeled, you from the bottoms.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So gang banging for me wasn't like a forced thing. It was just like the older guys from the other side were just picking on us.
Yeah.
I got tired of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think the trauma sets in where you have to become, when a young child has to become sort of like a different type of child
Yeah.
to survive.
Yeah.
And then, as you surviving in this world and you make mistakes, when I'm saying about mistakes, and you have backlashes or you reprogress,
Yeah.
I would call that prison or juvenile hall.
Yeah.
So this is another aspect of it. Now, when you go to juvenile hall and these places, you want a reputation for the wrong thing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We want a reputation for always fighting, causing trouble, violence.
Yeah.
We want a reputation for that. But that's not what this shit should be about no more. Not at 43.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, you would do something to somebody. We got that. But at 43, you need to understand, you a grown-ass man now.
Yeah.
Being a real nigga is just, overrated. At this point in time, you need to be worrying about being a real man.
Yeah.
Because all the real niggas is in jail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They already there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And at some point at time, you have to bear down and say to yourself, what do you want out of life? You know what I mean? What direction are you headed?
Yeah.
What direction are the people around you headed?
Okay.
Because if they still going left and you still want to go left, okay, that's fine, go left. But I'm tired of going left.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm tired of going left because I'm 43. I done spent the majority of that in prison.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't I'm tired of being around hard legs.
Yeah.
I want to go home to something soft.
I can
You know what I
appreciate
mean?
that.
You know what I mean? I enjoy walking through the grocery store.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I enjoy running errands.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, my wife get on my nerves sometimes, but yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I like my wife.
So how has that worked with you guys? You think it's kind of been compatible? Has there been, I mean, we always talk about having somebody that's either can take you up or take you down, and it works both ways. So if you have a woman that's not necessarily, that sometimes they have to be on you because it's a balance. Like we say, God created Eve for Adam to have a helper.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you need somebody that's going to tell you like, hey, Bray, or hey Terry, look, you're going in the wrong direction. You get what I'm saying? And so how do you a balance so that you don't overstep?
I was just about to say balance. We balance each other out really well. I'm not going to say that we bond over past trauma, but we have a lot of trauma that we acknowledge. And knowing that trauma could make us either hard or prideful, we stop and think now, whereas a couple of years ago, I probably was like, anybody care about, that's what you're doing? Okay, well, whatever, I'm doing this, But now that I'm older and I'm realizing that, Shantae, everybody has flaws. Nobody is perfect. You're not going to find a perfect mate, is what I keep in the back of my head. Okay. And also what I keep in the back of my head is that this man loves me unconditionally. It's not a lot of unconditional love. So
explain that, because we hear that as a woman, when you're feeling that he's loving you unconditionally, explain that to people out there so that they can kind of, because we see a lot of stuff and people have a confused definition of love, because they be thinking that, well, the man has to love me because he lays up in the bed with me or he comes does that, and it's like, no, not really.
Or he gives me money.
Yeah,
that's not love.
Yeah.
No.
So what do you mean by that?
Unconditional love is so deep. It's loving a person, a flawed person. It's loving something that sometimes is unlovable.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it's today I don't feel pretty, but he thinks I'm beautiful. It's today I don't want to cook, but as a helpmate I should cook, but he's okay with me not cooking.
Okay.
It's damn, he left the toilet seat up. I'll put it down for him. It's I hate when he does all these clothes and don't know how to find. Why does he do? It's Shantae. It's okay. He's tending to something else outside that you want him to do.
Yeah.
So that's unconditional, and then also he caters to me.
Okay.
Women really don't know what they want if they haven't had a father. I say that because your first love should always be your father. By the way, my father is living with us now.
Okay.
Not in our domain, but he's living with us. And it was a transition for both of us. But I realized that, my dad took care of me. I want to take care of him. And now me and my husband is, putting that same energy into my dad, which makes it even more an unconditional love, because a man is a king of his house. He doesn't want another man around, or giving orders, I'm daddy's only little girl. So it's like, that's my baby, and then he's like, that's my wife, and I love it because it's showing us how to love each other.
So how do you, so that's good to hear. See, I know a different side of you. Right. I'll just say that. Y'all can put two and two together.
It's crazy, right? One of my partners that we was in federal prison with, I don't know if you ran the Fat Dog.
I don't think
and God bless his soul, may he rest in peace. But he passed away.
Okay.
And one of my other partners called me. We all going to the funeral on the 8th. And I'm like, man, they all them ask me like, I tell them I'm married. They like, you married? And somebody married you? Miss, you not married, man. And you too bad to be married. But I'm like, man, I was really that bad. And I had to sit down there and think about it, like, when you don't have no balance, because see, I wasn't in tune with God at that time, because I had a disregard for it. But that's what type of spirit that you create when you want to go up in the game. Where
Yeah.
you got to be a different type of animal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you also have to be the different type of animal to recognize that that animal can't always come out.
Yeah.
That's balance.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm telling you?
Yeah.
So once I got the spiritual from God balance,
Mm-hmm.
my life is a whole lot easier. It's easier for me to go through trucker school now. I'm
Yeah.
not struggling as much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you can't straddle the fence. Either you're gonna be on this side or on this side, and God not gonna let you play with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So either you gonna figure it out or you gonna go over there and you gonna keep going down deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper till you figure it out.
Yeah.
And we all gotta go through stuff. One thing I had to learn from coming home from prison, I had a lot to growing up to do, bro. All that being tough and being a rider, I missed out on a whole lot.
Yeah.
I don't regret none of it because it happened.
Yeah.
And you can't change the past.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but I do know going forward, I have to be a whole different person.
Yeah.
I mean a whole different man because it's not gonna work.
Yeah, we like to call that growth, and I know it's hard because even for me, I'll be having the battle. What do I want to steal? I mean,
Right.
I'm just peeping it real. Like,
Right.
my mind, I went to prison for bank fraud,
Right.
but I've been doing fraud pretty much since I was in high school. So I have an itch,
Right.
and I'm like, okay, I'm 48 now. How many more times if my mom gonna be like, son, again, you know what I mean? Obviously, your battle is a lot different, but it's still a battle because, it's like you might reflect on that. And sometimes, but it's good to see. I've always said, I've told people this several times, loyalty, you got good loyalty. I ain't always been loyal. I'm just going to keep it real. You know what I'm saying? I've been loyal to what was available for me at the time or whatever. So when you see somebody, the ability to be able to be committed to something or someone, the ability to be able to show that's actually a good trait to have, because not a lot of people out here have it. They only going to be loyal for the moment, and I know because I've been that way.
I'm big on energy. Like the feds, you be around a whole type of different dudes. I
Yeah.
might be in the kitchen with different dudes, but I'm big on energy. You know what I mean? A man is a man, and I seen a lot of times when I was in federal prison, a lot of people say that they're men. They not men because it's not 3 or 4 of them or 6 or 7 of them, but I was just blessed to be around men that were men.
Yeah,
No matter where they were men, they stood on business like we're not doing that.
yeah, yeah,
And if you do it again, it's gonna be a problem. Federal prison is whole different from state prison.
yeah,
It's a whole lot of organization. You not finna just come in here and just run amok and run around. Cause we're not. Cause we 3,000 miles away from home.
yeah,
And you not finna do what you want to do because it's just us right now. And we got something going on right now, so you really need to sit your ass down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Christmas is coming, nigga. We still paying bills around here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you send money home from federal prison. You still gotta take care of home.
yeah,
So I had to learn all that
yeah,
at 19, 20, 21 from prison.
yeah,
You know what I mean? I know how to do it from the street. I know where Southern Edison is. I know how to go pay the bills. Yeah, from prison, it's like, oh, you got to sit down here and figure it out.
Yeah.
It ain't checkers no more.
yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It ain't
So
checkers no more.
let's talk about blending families, because you have obviously the foster. Well, I don't even want to call them foster kids.
My
just
babies.
your 2 children. Let's just say it like that. And so, how do you guys work that out? Is there a you blend families? What's the challenges? What's the agreements, or how does that work out?
So, well, I'll say, it's new for both of us because neither one of us have biological children.
Okay.
But because I've been a foster parent and adoptive parent and been around children my whole life, I kind of know, it's kind of like natural. And it's like you playing your position. God put the woman there to take care of the children. We've had a few challenges, but for the most part, we're on one accord.
Okay.
And if me and him are on one accord, then the kids are on one accord. So they know, like now it's a thing. They already know, okay, did Tucker say, what did Tucker say? If Tucker didn't say it, then don't come ask me something different. But they're really good at it. I would say, babe,
And like I told my son, I was raised by my stepfather.
Okay.
So I kind of understand what you're going through. You know what I mean? My daughter a handful, man. Between her and her mama.
Yeah, them girls are something else.
Woo! I
But-
love her though.
I was about to say, but they're amazing.
They so well respected, and they will mannerism. They talk well,
yeah.
and they love it. We don't have it's minor. We
don't
my
have
babies.
Yeah, we don't have no real problems with that. Even with his mom and my mom, they spark a blunt together,
Okay.
Yeah.
and they hang out and they chill. My mama will be 70 real soon,
Okay.
and
Mine too.
you know they hang out like if they were friends from the past. So it's like no problem. My dad love his mom. My mom love his dad. Like it's just we blended, and we found out family history. It's almost like I feel like we was meant to be.
Yeah, because you know my original father is from Compton.
Oh, is that right?
And his
Okay.
original father is a twin, and my mom is a twin. And it's been interesting, even to see the men in his family.
Yeah.
Me looking at the men in his family shows me the stock that's in my husband. You know
Okay.
where he come from.
Okay.
He just a man. He a man, and I think that's one of the things that attracted me.
I wanted to ask that next. So yeah, what's the?
Yeah,
tell me,
like-
y'all, what's the attraction?
It was her heart.
It was his heart. It was
It was her heart, and she had no weave.
Oh, natural hair. Oh, yeah. So,
and the
hey.
fake eyelashes, so I ain't got to wrestle with nothing in the bathroom. Because you know when you go on trips, sometimes like we went on a trip, and she took the weave out, Terry, and left it in the bathroom. I ran out. I said, "Babe, give me the gun." She's like, "Babe, what's wrong?" It's like it's a raccoon.
I just had a little braid because I went to Jamaica. I think
She went to
I had a
Jamaica?
little braid.
Okay.
She's like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "Babe, that's the weave." I'm like, "Don't put that in here no more. Throw that outside."
That's crazy.
But yeah, her heart.
I want to say his heart and him man, and he's just so attentive to me. You know, I my love language is, you know, you have to attend to me.
Okay.
Like I'm not even big on touchy feely. Like
Yeah.
he taught me how to be touchy feely because actually when you come from rejection, you don't really know about touchy feely. It's
Yeah.
like, you know, you know, I don't know, but he's taught me that, you know, my weight is not a problem. You know, our journey is not a problem.
Okay.
We, you know, I can lay on him and I'm like, baby, is your leg hurt? He like, lay your ass down. Like, so we, you know, and same for him. Like, I think we complement each other. We
That's
complement
good.
each other.
So I forgot to say this at the beginning. So this is my little series. We talked about this, make relationships great again. I forgot to say it. This is the This is my first couple in the make relationships great again series.
Check it.
We got our hoodies
look
on.
At, look at make marriage great again.
Yeah. So
make marriage great
yeah. Oh, okay. Timeless plug. I didn't even know, for real. Well, that's pretty sweet actually.
Yeah.
Because the issue is these days is everything is so catered towards the drama and the toxicity.
Yeah.
Oh, this person's doing this person's doing that. But there's actually people that really, I tell my boys all the time,
Yeah.
being faithful, being committed to something is the biggest flex in the whole entire world. It's easy to just go run out when something gets wrong. You know how I can speak from experience? Because I ran out when things got wrong. I'm just telling the truth. So it's good to see people who, even though you got newly married, you know what I mean, it doesn't matter because it just shows people that this is what things are supposed to look like. The Bible
And we've
tell you
had
that.
it.
Oh, my bad. Go
Oh
ahead.
no! So we've had a little issue where we both kind of bucked up because, you know, that is gonna come out of you.
Yeah.
You know. And
Well,
it's
the
not
scriptures
gonna
say
always
that the Bible tells you even in marriage you'll have tribulation.
Yeah.
It says that in the Bible. So
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that everything is going to be smooth,
That
but you
part.
can still get through things.
Right.
And sometimes the tribulation you have might not even be exactly between you two. It might be the stuff that's going on the outside. It might be with the kids, might be your family member
Yeah.
getting sick. And so
Anything.
it's a little tension, but there's ways to work through it instead of
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm going to go find somebody else or I'm going to go hit the road.
That part.
So since we're on marriage and we're talking to people so people will see this, let's talk about financial. Now, how do you, because a lot of marriages get destroyed financially
For money,
because
yeah.
behind money. How do you got, is it just easy for you guys? Do you guys?
I don't. Money goes in one account. She manages it.
Okay.
I don't want to hear about no bills. Don't call me and tell me ain't none of the bills being paid because it's impossible. because we already got everything set up. You just put the money in there, they automatically pay the bills. It's like they on auto pay. So I don't be really wanting to hear nothing.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Financial not a problem.
I was about to say, with us, I think, because of who he is, he reminds me of my granddad.
Okay.
He like, baby, here go the card, whatever, take care of that, and then give me my, my allowance. Let me go get my allowance, and I'm like, oh, okay. So a lot of times, I forget. I'm like, okay, did you take care of your stuff? Did you get your allowance? I ain't tripping. I don't know, but I think I do well at managing, all of our bills, making sure things are taken care of. Money is not our issue, and we try not to let that ever be our issue, because that can create so much drama, so much heartbreak. Money is tied to a lot of things. Mm-hmm. I feel like as long as the bills is paid, I don't care if we're in a mansion or in a cardboard box. Yeah. As long as we can take care of our business, we should always be on one accord. Like, even if we don't have it.
So if you guys are giving advice to other couples, because again, this is if you look up the numbers, that's one of the leading causes of people getting divorced. What would you suggest to somebody like? I mean, everybody obviously has to figure out their own way to manage certain things, but how would you say, if you was to give a couple some advice, would be best way to like try to minimize that situation?
I would suggest you take the validation and the materialism out of your relationships.
Okay.
And what I mean by that, by validate, I mean like Instagram and Gucci glasses, and those are also materialism things, but a lot of people use those because they want to be recognized.
But you can have them though, right, man? You can have them.
You can have them,
okay.
But those are not the basis. Those shouldn't be the sole basis of your relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if they are, you need to separate, because it's not going to work. Okay. Also, you can't come into the relationship from past resentment, from your past relationships.
Okay.
You have to go through bad relationships to get through to a good one. If you're not going to stick the bad one out till it becomes a good one, or if you're not going to do the work to make it become a good relationship.
Okay.
So
fine.
I also would say, you got to work with people, man. I think a lot of the times with the way social media is and the way the world is, everybody think that getting 6 figures in a bag is, if he has it or he or she has it, they're worthy. A lot of the times, them dudes don't be worthy, or those females don't be worthy, because a lot of the time they be clowns with money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Money shouldn't, if I say materialism shouldn't always be your sole objective. You should see what a person's energy is, their heart, they father, their mother, were they raised by a husband, were they raised by a wife? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And let me add that you can't look at money like that. You have to, well, let me say this, because I have friends that are wealthy. I have friends that's on the county. I got friends that, and granted, your life is your life. You can live it how you live. But when you come into a relationship with someone, even if that person is not where they're supposed to be, build something together. Create a space. I was always told, like, go make your own money, because ain't nobody gonna give you nothing. Okay. So I have that mindset around my whole house. It's like, even my daughter, she's like, oh, Mom, I'm gonna work at Starbucks. I'm like, why? You're an entrepreneur. Yeah. If you come work with the business, we take care of children. We have juice bar. We sell watermelons. I'll create a job for you. Okay. Same for my husband. Like, I don't want him working forever, like giving them 10 hours and 8 hours, and then we're away from each other. We're getting older. So let's create a business that will generate income. It don't have to be, don't despise small beginnings. It could be small. Yeah. It could be, hey, we just washing cars, making $20 a car.
And that's another thing I like about it. Like, I'm intelligent, right? So if I come up with a plan, she'll come up with the steps to help me execute it. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn. I'd be like, damn, it was this easy? She's like, yeah, babe. I'm like, okay. And I go knock it out. Yeah. And we boom it.
Yeah. We did, we had a friend that she does clearing mobile homes. And so we were like, she was like, oh, if you guys can clean this up for me, or you have somebody. I'm like, oh, we creating a business out of that.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we're hauling and movers.
Yeah.
Tucker Hauler and Moving.
Yeah.
We on our way.
We on our
Matter
way.
of fact, here's the invoice. Here's
We
the
on our
invoice. You know, and my baby suit up.
Yeah.
And he get 2 boys, or my son, and
Yeah.
they go in there and they execute it. And then we
Yeah.
we done made $1,200 for the day.
See, I think this is important, and I've said it in a few other podcasts, especially when it comes to relationships, is finding somebody that genuinely likes you.
Yes.
Some people be
Yes.
in relationships that people don't even like
They
each
don't
other.
like 'em. Oh my
Because if you don't
God.
like the person, there's certain sacrifices that you're just not going to make.
And I can honestly say in the past, if I didn't like a person, it was over.
It was
Yeah.
over with.
And my friends know, like, I'll ghost you in a minute.
Yeah.
Like, I'm out of here. Like,
Yeah.
ain't no stand. But when Tucker came in my life, it felt different.
Okay.
It was like, you ever had a little a puppy that wouldn't go away, or you fed somebody that wouldn't go away? I was like, man, let me see. This ain't going. And as a matter of fact, it was September 14th, right, babe?
Right.
And my
before your
birthday
birthday.
was the next day.
Okay.
And I was like, I was like, okay, he's such a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I read right through him. I seen his heart.
Yeah.
And then I also seen the struggle, because,
Yeah.
you know, women have discernment when you done been through some things.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was like, And then my friends were like, Shantae, you always picking up a project, because I'm now they looking at me,
Yeah.
because now I got this nigga from Long Beach. You know, we don't know his MO and what, you know.
Yeah.
And I got, you know, I ain't gonna toot my horn, but I'm, you know, do pretty well for a 43-year-old woman.
Sometimes you got to blow
You
your
know?
horn. If not, you
No,
don't get
blow
hit.
it,
You know what I'm
blow
saying?
it.
It's okay to blow your
And-
horn sometimes.
And so I was like, you know, and I'm like, man, I've been through these bad relationships. I don't want to do nothing but, you know what I'm saying, we can hang out, maybe, you know, hang out, you know.
Yeah, Netflix and chill, we get it.
Yeah. And then it was like, this man is rubbing my feet. Like, you don't even know me, bro. But after that, I was like, dang, he has a heart of gold. And so the next day, he's like, hey, I'm about to come over. You want something to eat? I'm like, oh, okay, coming over. Okay, we'll see. And it seemed like every day, it just got more and more like, he was all in.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna lie, this is the really all in. I don't know what happened or whatever, but he came, he said, look, I got $10,000. He said, here. He said, I want a relationship.
Oh, I can dig that.
I looked, I was
That's definitely putting your money where your mouth is.
I said, man, I went in there, he did my floors. We had new floors in there, and he said, you just give me a little change. I'm, you know, doing
Yeah.
my little thing. And that right there said a whole lot to me.
So what made you feel comfortable doing that? You just knew?
Her energy.
Okay.
You know, I done been, you know, I done been with some hoes, man. Like these guys, like Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And you know, I didn't mind the hoe. You just don't lie about the hoe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want a hoe? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I got you. You doing it for the profit, right? You're not doing this just you know? So, you know, after the bad relationships and meeting her, it's like, okay, I got a grown ass woman find me.
Okay.
I can build with this one. You can feel it,
Yeah.
you know.
So how does that help now if you guys have conflict? Because there's always, you know, it's a relationship, but have conflict. Do you think that, how do you guys deal with that? I think the friendship, again, we talked about this before, but being friends with the person with your mate is so important. Because there's gonna come times that you know, I was with some people and I was like, me and the person wasn't even friends. And I mean, like we weren't even friends. No wonder you
That's
get
why
what I'm
it didn't
saying?
work. Yeah.
Because like we don't. It's I can tell from being around you guys.
Yeah.
Like this is sincere.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
And,
we play and shoot jokes on each other all the time.
yeah. And that's important. Go ahead.
I would say you have to be friends first. Not only that, you have to give space. You have to know your partner. You have to know your partner. Like, I know when he on a tangent. I know when he having a little hissy fit. So I give him space. I sometimes even just take off. Like, hey, baby, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Okay,
he don't
bye.
even he don't even know. Like, I know that, but then he like, all right, bye. But then he calling, baby, where you at?
Yeah.
You all right? Hey,
Yeah.
baby, I'm on my way back home. But it's knowing. You got to take time to invest and know your partner.
Okay.
I believe that's what it is. And a
Yeah.
lot of times people don't want to know because it's all about me.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
I. And in a relationship, it's never about you.
Yeah.
It's always about the other person. And I think we both have that. Like, he cares about other people. I love that. And I'm like, dang, my husband, he's like me. You know, we we care for people together.
Yeah.
You know, and so it makes it better. He want to see people win. I want to see people win. He'll give his last. I'll give my last.
Yeah, I would say that about him. Like I said, I've always, I'm go to prison. And people that know L.A. County, most dudes that's in L.A. County is affiliated with some type of
Some kind of
gang.
gang,
So
right.
when you hear the prison yard not being affiliated, it could be a little bit, intimidating.
Yeah.
Because I'm not affiliated with. I'm gonna tell people I'm from Long Beach because that's where I'm from, but I'm not
There you
a
go.
gang member. And so seeing him, we was on the yard together, and he had his own little thing going on, but he would always make sure that, hey, you okay? Everything all right? Someone bothering you? Or you got a chow hall, and there's the Crips got their table, and the Bloods got their table, and the Up North, and it's 5,000 different tables.
Man,
Well,
I'm so glad that I'm over.
I know, it's crazy. But you have to go in there. Now imagine, you going in there and you sitting at a table with two people there or one person there because you're not affiliated
Yeah, with
and everybody
nobody.
has a group. So he would be like, hey, you can come in the morning, just come over, you can come over here and sit. If you want to, you can come sit with me. So I always, and he didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? He didn't have to do that because this is, you know what I mean? And I've always appreciated that about him. You know what I mean? That's why, you can tell, especially because I tell people it's 90% mental and 10% physical in prison, in my opinion. It might be a 10% chance you got to get into it with somebody, but 90% is the mental strain you got to go
Gotta
through
deal
from
with
just
it.
dealing with all the drama
Yeah.
and all the stuff that's going on in the COs and like you
Yeah.
say, the men that don't act like men and people trying to crash you out for something. You like, I just want to do my time. And then
Get
you
out
missing
of
your
here.
family and you on yourself for being in the situation again. So it's the mental strain. So
Yeah.
when you have somebody that's there that's really, really trying to make sure that you're okay, when you see him at home, it's the same way. When I see him that's why I told you I was so
Yeah.
happy for him to find somebody because sometimes you can be loyal to the wrong thing
people. Yeah,
and the wrong
yeah.
people. And
Yeah.
they take your loyalty for granted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when you find somebody that's like that, they gonna do the right thing. Again, I have to give people props for that because
Man.
everybody when we're younger, it's like being a player is cool or doing this they make it seem like it's ideal, but it's really you're weak.
Yeah.
Being committed
Come
to
on.
somebody and being able to show up for that person
There we
all the
go.
time when you need it, that's the biggest flex. That's
That-
more important
that
than
part.
how many hoes you had, how many people you slept with,
Yeah.
how much money you got. No, listen, I got a woman, I love my woman, we
Yeah.
building together, we doing something together. That's the ultimate about what the marriage what the marriage
marriage
is.
is.
And real quick, and I'll let you go, this thing like people have to be yoked together. You say the scripture tell you about being unevenly yoked. And the problems that you have when you unevenly yoked. It's almost impossible for things to work out when you
Yeah.
unevenly yoked. We don't make
Yeah.
up the rules. This is what the manual says this.
Yes.
That's so good. Let me say this because I've ran into a lot of people, and I've come from a Christian background, and I hear a lot of people talking about being unequally yoked, but they have no idea what that yoke is. They only talk about, oh, he's a Muslim or she's a Christian or he's a Buddhist, and I'm like, that's not the only. There's so many unequally yoked situations. Like he could be just not for you because he doesn't like what you do. You can be into him, but then you don't like that he's an entrepreneur. You might want him to go to work. There's so many things. Like I have some friends that's like, hey, if he's not making six figures, then I don't want to, because I'm already making six figures.
Yeah.
Then I have some friends that's like, well, if he ain't a hood nigga and he ain't been through nothing,
Yeah.
and you know what I'm saying, he ain't spent the block, then I don't want him.
Yeah.
And then I got some of my friends that's like, well, wait a minute, if he doesn't have a PhD or if he didn't go to Harvard or if he didn't, then I don't want. So you have to be equally yoked. And my thing is, I could take a little bit of all that, and make something.
Yes.
But that's what I love about us. We make each other. We complete each other. I haven't been in a relationship like this. I was always the one that's making sure they okay, making sure everything ran well, making sure I would be doing most of the manly stuff.
Yeah.
My baby get up, he take out the trash, he makes sure the grass. I'm a nature person.
Yeah.
He knows that, so he makes sure my garden area is fine.
Yeah.
He makes sure the patio is good.
Okay.
He take care of the backyard. I took a picture of him yesterday cutting the grass. I was like, baby out there cutting the grass, and we got a gardener.
That's one thing I wanted to remember. I think that's what I like about y'all. I like that you have each other you're posting each other.
Yeah.
I think some people don't make it a big deal, but to me,
It's
if
a
this is the
big
person
deal.
that you love and this person you're proud of, for you to not have any pictures of your spouse, your significant other, it
weird.
just says, most people like, yeah, I'm married. This is my
I'm
husband.
just existing.
Yeah, it's like people.
I've been in relationships with women that they'll take a picture and they'll send it to Instagram before they send it to me. Like that's valid. That's what I'm saying about
Yeah.
the validation.
Yeah,
That's go like you can like any man. You hear a nigga now like who she thinks she playing with? Okay, game on.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it's just back
You
and
like when I
forth,
post our
back and
pictures,
forth.
babe?
Yeah, I like some of the pictures.
I seen you guys at the gym. I think those type. I'm
we be having
I'm a
a
rom
ball.
com guy, so I watch romantic movies all the time. I'm just saying. so I like the stuff. I like to see the stuff like, okay, they at the gym together. To me, again, that's important. I mean, because it just people don't understand, especially as you start to get older,
Man.
and then you go through the disappointments, and you're always, man, what if? Because I've had a lot of like what ifs, and to see people. That's why I say everybody thinks that good relationships or good marriages don't exist if you listen to what everybody else say. Because social media is so prevalent in everybody's life, and everybody's like, oh, I gotta put myself first. Well, it's never gonna work, because the scriptures say there's more happiness in giving than there is receiving.
Yeah.
So a selfish person will never find true happiness.
That's
it's
right.
just we didn't make the rules up. It's the creator that says this. So when you see people like this that does that, it's commendable, and I'm just really, really happy. Like I say, I'm always telling him. I told you this about him. He's very, very. You know what I'm saying. I like him. He's very, very loyal. And he knows how to. Like, he sends me stuff, like nice stuff.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
he's a dude, but he still like is comfortable enough in himself to be like, yeah, man, bro, I appreciate it.
This, look at
Whatever.
that, yeah.
And sometimes people need that.
Yes.
Sometimes men,
Yes.
you need validation from somebody to be like, okay,
Yes.
somebody acknowledges that I'm putting in the work, or doing something.
And that's another thing that we don't talk about too. We need to talk about more on these platforms is men's mental health, man.
Yeah.
Man, we have deep issues that
Yeah.
we have to deal with. Men go through stuff like it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And when you find, like when you get yourself over to God, you will find out your trauma and how to deal with them.
Mm-hmm.
But the key thing is this: are you gonna want to deal with them? Because you're gonna have to have uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With your spouse.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to let that other person know things about you might not want her to know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you do that and you become a man and you want to fix yourself, man, that's the process you got to go through.
Yeah.
It's gonna hurt. You gonna
Healing.
cry. Healing. That's part of healing.
But you see what he just said? That's important. And I've been saying this. I told somebody this recently. If you can't tell the person that you're going to marry the truth, then you should not marry
Marry
them.
them.
You should be able to come and tell each other anything.
Anything,
And not, if I got a porn addiction, babe, I got a
look.
porn addiction.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because this is your one flesh.
Yeah.
I don't think people get the meaning of
Right.
one flesh.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
it tell you, like, you'll leave your mother and your father, and you stick to and y'all will be one flesh. The only deeper bond than that is the individual bond with God.
Yep.
Next is it's not the kids, it's the husband
It's
and
the
wife.
husband and wife, and you have to be willing and open for your spouse to come to you and accept what they're saying. Some people, they're so caught up on social media life, or they're so caught up on just this fake world that they're not really receiving or giving what's needed in a real relationship.
Okay.
For me, I want to be our first counselor.
Yeah.
I want him to be our first counselor. Before we go to anybody else, we should be able to understand what's going on and say, hey, we can make a sound decision that this is not right or this is right. And I should be able to listen to him. Nobody is over talking nobody. We should be able to, and if you can't talk at that time, then don't talk.
Yeah.
Right.
Come back when it's time to talk. And that's what I always tell him, like, my baby got a temper.
Yeah, he do.
He got a temper. and I got a temper too.
Yeah.
And we kind of tame each other by giving the space or saying, okay, well, not right now. We ain't doing that right
Yeah.
now. We're gonna talk about it later.
Yeah.
So if I had anything to say to women that are married, be his healer. Help him heal. Because if you want a better man, because ain't nothing else out here in these streets.
Yeah.
It's rough right now.
Real rough.
You know, be his healer. If you got a good thing, make that work. But if you see that it can't work,
Yeah.
don't stay somewhere where,
Yeah.
you know, you going down in the pit and about to die. But,
And when y'all
you
do
know.
argue, don't punish the truth. That's a lot of the problem in relationships. People having their relationships
deep.
don't punish the truth. If he or she tell you the truth, don't cuss him out afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Did you cheat on me? Yes. Okay. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna cause more friction.
Yeah.
Or cause them not to tell.
Not
or
to tell
have
you the
open
truth at all.
communication.
Have open
Yeah.
communication. That's what cut open communication. No, don't
Yeah.
don't cuss the person out.
And then also too in relationships, you just gotta be open.
Yeah.
Just open. Like with us, we don't like. I seen a couple talking about they don't go in each other's phones. I didn't understand that.
Speak on it. Speak on it,
Because
please.
how am I not able to go into your phone when we are one? Whatever's in your phone is in my phone. So let's see what's going on. We don't have those issues. Like
They told me I was
You go-
insecure if I wanted to do that. They say
See-
you insecure. I'm like, well,
No.
how you can't be able to go into somebody's phone? But I mean, you can go on my
My
joint
bank account?
No,
Come
I'm
on.
understand. You know what I'm
You
saying?
insecure about me finding out the truth.
True.
Yeah.
Right,
Like I
right.
shouldn't. I never. And like I say, like I can see my parents together. If my mom's phone rang, my dad would pick it up if
Yeah.
he's around. Chris, somebody on the phone for you.
but-
Nobody's gonna
Yeah.
be tripping. But
Yeah.
nowadays, it's like this big old thing that they tell you that you're crazy. And I think again, that's the divide that comes in there because you shouldn't care. What are you worried about? Really?
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
And if anything, put God first.
Right.
Okay.
I'm not saying be over spiritual or be over religious, but you have to go back to that book because it's the creation. It's your role. You know, your creation role is important. Who you are. Find out who you are in that book. Then you'll be able to love your spouse the way Christ loved the church.
Okay.
But that's first. He's the foundation. Like I told baby, I said, look, we started off, we was going to a church and just trying to find different areas. But God said, no, I wanted you guys to come to this relationship and this union with me. Not other people right now.
Yeah.
And so it ended up,
I had to tell her when like, hey babe, I'm very much into God and I believe in the higher power and I believe Jesus Christ is my Lord. I'm not going to no more churches. Like I don't feel comfortable. I don't know those people. And I'm not saying that they are bad people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I want the people if I want to talk about God, I want to talk to some people that's been through something.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't want to sit in the church with you and you own an Amazon business and you got on the suit and I'm not saying you don't know struggle,
Yeah.
but I don't want to chop it up with you right now
Yeah.
because it's not about what I can get from you or the type of connection I can get with you as far as your business.
Yeah.
I'm trying to connect with somebody through God. It's
Yeah.
going to be more of a deeper connection.
Yeah.
And then that connection will help me find my way. But it's not going to be the other way around.
Yeah.
But see, that's back to the materialism. That's why
Yeah.
the church, you know what I mean? I shouldn't have to come in here and fly like I'm going to the club on
Yeah.
Sunday just to get in here to church to sit
Yeah.
down.
yeah, no, it's really not about that no more. And a lot of that is being exposed. But what it really is about is us. Like this is healthy right here.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
us talking and letting things out because somebody else is going to hear it and they're going to be like, oh, you know what? I took this nugget or I took that nugget.
Yes.
So this is what we're supposed to be doing. I think marriage though, people have to start looking at it different because I think some people we forgot what marriage really is. And I heard something and it was like, marriage is not supposed to make you happy. It's supposed to make you holy. I was like, wow. You know, so instead of Keisha sleeping with James, Ricky, Jason, Kevin, if she get married, it holds her, it consecrates her.
Yeah.
It makes her, you know what I'm saying? And not saying that everybody be sleeping around or whatever, but
Yeah.
marriage is a team.
Yeah.
You know, it's a team. And if you look at it like a team, I think you'll go further because that's why I really married him. I needed a team partner.
Okay.
I needed somebody that had my back, that was going to ride for me, that was going to say, you know what, hey, I know you've been running the show a long time,
Yeah.
you know, but I want to come in and help you, you know,
new
run the
sheriff
show.
Yeah.
want to help you run the show. And I think that's what made me. And then my little mental thinking, I'd be like, oh, it's too much going on in the world right now. Like, they might have people coming over here with guns and stuff. I need a protector.
Yeah.
I need a man.
I want you to also understand, when you get married, your wife has 17 personalities.
My goodness.
So you have to understand, you have to know how to talk to all 17 of the personalities.
Yeah.
But you can't talk to all 17 of them because they go through each other. The first personality, that does all the texting and the calling and the organization. The 17th personality, you just got to catch on to her when you catch her.
Yeah.
Marriage it's a job. It's a job.
It's
And it's
very much a
interesting.
job.
It's, it's love, it's hurt, it's joy, it's peace, it's good times, it's bad times. I like that we travel together though.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
We just get up and get away from
Yeah.
everything, the world, and just be us. Like, we could just lay up naked in the bed and
You
just
want to
be
go
like,
to Morongo tonight?
no, Morongo.
What about Yamaha?
Maybe Yamaha.
See?
We go
See
Yamaha.
how natural it is?
We might go to Yamaha
Is that the
tonight.
one with the Philly steaks?
Yamaha, where's that at now?
San Bernardino.
That
It
used to be San
It
Manuel.
used to be San
I used to call that the Bobby and Whitney Casino because it was so ghetto out there.
They've changed now. They've
Oh, okay.
changed now.
So yeah, we're gonna get ready to
okay.
wrap this. So you
Okay,
guys
yeah.
can get some advice to anybody, or talk. Also, letting people know what you do. You got the watermelon.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Just
we
different
have
things. Yeah.
we have Dementor Families Child Care / Tucker.
Okay.
We have watermelons coming May 15th. We have a juice bar coming soon. We also have the Mentor for Children.
Mentor for children.
Okay.
I think we're gonna start at age 12 to 18. Maybe 10 to 18 because we've been coming into some challenges with the youngsters. What else?
Daycare is fun. I like the kids.
like
in the
this.
daycare.
When you say challenges, what do you mean?
They just mental challenges
Okay.
with becoming mostly the girls, like who they are,
Okay.
self-esteem wise,
What they've been seeing.
what they've been seeing on social media.
And that's another thing, man. They showing our babies this stuff. Like, it's wild.
Yeah,
How
that's a
old-
whole nother podcast. though.
Dijor is how old?
My baby, she's is 6.
6.
6.
Man, get on your phone right now and go through it.
Yeah.
And tell you everything
And
about
tell you
it, how to
everything,
work it,
how
and
to
you're
work
not
it and
doing
what
this
to do.
right, and that, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that right?
What? At 6. Sit
Yeah.
up in there on the couch and know how to work the remote and be in there on her phone. Twiddling her feet. She's 6.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
a lot,
Yeah. It's
man.
dangerous.
So yeah, I wanted to, but I want to introduce a podcast for the youth so that they can have communication
Yeah,
among
you was telling me
themselves.
that, yeah.
And then also a step class. A step class is coming for women in the city of Compton or surrounding areas.
Okay.
Just to get back on loving yourself.
Yeah. Okay.
We've been through a lot these last years, but man, this was fun.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys coming on. I mean, you got the Make Marriage Great Again. I love both of you guys. I'm happy for you. I'm glad you guys got each other. You guys is, good people. I don't say that lightly because I got issues with some people. You know who you are.
We
but
love you. We love
but
you.
but I really appreciate and I know you guys will do well because I know you guys are both grounded. So you guys both deserve happiness, and I appreciate you guys coming on again. This is my first couple in the Make Relationships Great Again. Theirs is Make Marriage Great Again. They probably got some merchandise y'all can find out.
Hey.
So give me your Instagram or something. Somebody want to hit you up.
So we're at Shantae Will Win on Instagram, and
The juice bar is on 2105 West Compton Boulevard.
Okay.
2105
That's where we gonna have the
West
watermelons
Compton.
at.
That's it, May 15th.
Okay, so y'all can just never
Make a
about
left
the
by
cake.
KFC.
Terry Lamar. You can follow me on Twitter, Never About the Cake. Follow me on YouTube, Never About the Cake. Follow me on TikTok. Just don't follow me home. Thought y'all would like this song.
Oh, so long
Stevie.
for this night. I pray that a star will guide you my way to share with me the space.